Sorry, we're just making sure everybody's good and ready to go. There we go. Okay, awesome. So welcome. We're going to get started right away so we can share all this amazing, awesome information for you. And yes, that is Santa in the background. He's very distracting. I'm going to move over here because I peek at him while I'm like looking at myself. But welcome everyone to our call, whether you're watching live or you're watching the recording. We appreciate you being on with us. I have Danielle, Danny, and Vanessa with me on the call, and I'm super excited to be sharing and have them share with you just everything kind of that we can in a nutshell about coaching. There's so many awesome, amazing things, but we're going to try to kind of talk about a bunch of different topics. We could talk about each topic for an hour each, but we're going to try to keep it to 3 minutes for each topic, just to give you guys an idea of, the different things about coaching. And then we're adding pretty much with most of the topics, how we do this part-time, with the different things when we're running groups and how we build our lists and how we do all these things and how we save time by doing little things that can make it part-time. Because all of us, I do this full-time, but I started part-time and everyone else on this call is doing it part-time. So it's totally possible. So really quick, I have some notes that I'm going to be checking here. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to have everybody else share a little bit about them. And then from there, we're going to go kind of like roundtable style, just sharing different topics. And then we're going to go over some objections. And then at the very end, if you guys have any questions, please comment on the page, whether you're on your phone or your laptop, or even if you're watching the recording later. Even if you ask a question, we'll get the notification and we'll totally answer later. And then, so if you have any questions, let us know. And then at the very, very end, so you have to stay on till the end, I'm going to be doing a Shakeology giveaway, doing pick a number 1 through 50. Who's ever closest without going over is going to win some Shakeology. So you got to hang out with us the whole time in order to check that out. But yeah, so let's get started. So a little bit about me. I have been coaching. It'll be 5 years in March, which is absolutely insane. I went to school to be a high school history teacher, had a quarter-life crisis, moved over to the West Coast, ended up in an emotionally abusive relationship, developed 2 eating disorders, was just a hot mess, wasn't taking care of myself. Then when I was diagnosed with PCOS in February of 2013, I was like, I got to get my crap together, started sharing my journey on social media, kind of doing what so many of you guys are already doing. You're just not getting paid for it. And my coach messaged me and she was like, hey, by the way, you're awesome. You're doing what we're doing. You're just not getting paid for it. And I was like, wait, this might be a cool thing. I was definitely kind of sketchy at first because my cousins sold Avon and Mary Kay, and I was like, ew, I don't want to do that. That's gross. But then I got into the community and gave it a chance, and I was like, wait, this is really, really awesome. And it took me about a year, close to 2 years before I was able to go full-time, but now I do this full-time. So for 2 years, I did this part-time. 2 years. I was a waitress, I was a nanny, I was going to nutrition school, and I still made it work. So it's just about your priorities, how you're scheduling your time, because a lot of us, if you really ask yourself how much time you're spending scrolling on social media, even me, so today, I was looking at my phone, I was like, oh my God, I'm pretty sure I was just looking at these Instagram stories for the past 45 minutes. I could have done so many other things with my life. So as long as you kind of prioritize your time, you can make it work. Awesome. So Danielle, share with us your Beachbody story.
Sure. So I got started with Beachbody about 2 years ago now, and I started because I was complaining about my weight to my boyfriend, now fiance, and I was like, Brian, I'm really not comfortable in my body, and I don't know what to do about it. I was always an athlete, throughout high school, college, and then grad school hit, and I didn't have a gym or practice or anything. So, and I ate, I was still swimming 3 hours a day, but I wasn't. So I was gaining weight, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I was going for runs, I was biking, I was swimming, but nothing was working, probably because my nutrition was so bad. So he actually recommended doing Insanity. He's like, I have the DVDs in my basement, you should go try them out. And I was like, oh my God, I've seen infomercials that look so intense, I'm gonna die. But I tried it and I lost 15 pounds in 60 days, which I didn't even know was possible. I didn't even know I had that much to lose. And I was doing this, and then I got totally hooked, and I was doing all the other Beachbody programs. And then he actually goes to school, or went to middle school with Alexis, and he was like, oh, Alexis is a coach. And she asked me to ask you if you'd ever be or consider coaching. And I was like, what's coaching? So I literally immediately, that day, I messaged Alexis and I was like, what is it? Tell me more. Oh my gosh. So she told me all about it, and I literally signed up the next day to be a coach. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I've gotten amazing results with this program, and I want to share this with other people. So I got started, and then at that time, I was still in grad school, and I was also working 3 other jobs. So I was a lifeguard, I worked at some retail store, and I was also a teacher's assistant, a TA. So, and I'm on top of going to grad school and also coaching. And then I graduated grad school, moved down to Florida, got a full-time job, worked 55 hours a week, and was still able to coach. And then this past April, I was able to go part-time at my corporate job and go part-time for my coaching gig, which I love so much. And hopefully within like a year or 2, I'll be able to go full-time with coaching.
Yay. Awesome. Yes. Danielle is a workhorse. She's awesome. She knows how to prioritize her time. And it's awesome because we have people like Danielle on our team. So the cool thing about being a part of our team is you don't just get resources from me, because I definitely don't have all the answers. We all share resources and ideas and different things. So you're getting like, we're coming together to help you be successful. So if you're worried about, I don't have time to learn all, or I don't have time to like figure all this stuff out, we're going to help you learn it all so you don't have to do it on your own. Awesome. All right, Danny, please share with us your story.
Okay. Hey guys, I am Danny. I have been coaching for just over a year and a half, I think. I joined in April of 2016, so yeah, that would make sense. And I started coaching for a couple of different reasons. First off the bat, I really started coaching for myself and for my own like health and fitness journey. I had always been like a chronic quitter. I have tried everything you can imagine, counting calories, Weight Watchers, heavy weightlifting, counting macros, everything. And I needed something that would like make me a little bit extra accountable. So I decided like what could make you more accountable than joining as a coach and trying and helping other people? Because if you're helping them, you have to make sure that you're helping yourself too. So that was kind of the first reason why I started coaching. The second reason was because at that time, my husband and I had maybe been, we had just opened our own business. My husband's a chiropractor, so we own a chiropractic office as well. And I think we were in business for maybe about 6 months or so. And we were living with my in-laws at the time because we wanted to take like the financial stress off of ourselves from like starting that business and just really focusing on that. But living with your in-laws is not something that you want to do forever. And, you know, we had been in our business 6 months or so. And so what I really wanted to like start making extra income for ourselves, for Blake and I, so that we could really pay our bills, like pay some debt down so that we could be able to move out and feel a little like more secure in our situation while like owning another business as well, like a bigger business that we had like a business loan and all that kind of stuff. And this was a great opportunity because it was like I didn't need to take out a business loan to start this business. I could just start it and I could do it and I could see profits pretty quickly. So that was kind of my secondary reason of, you know, why I joined. And I've kind of been going at it ever since. I still do work my full-time job. There's a thing called health insurance that's really expensive. And because my husband is a small business owner, he doesn't get it either. So I definitely am working full-time mostly for that. But I do this on the side, and hopefully I can kind of relate to people who are working full-time right now and wanting to do something part-time at a time.
Yeah. So that's definitely something that I know people ask a lot. So just that you happen to mention that, I can't talk, mention that in terms of health insurance, I believe, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I believe that Beachbody has like a connect, like if you do end up doing it full time, like I am on Pat's health insurance. So if you maybe you're like a stay-at-home mom or, you know, you want to do this, but you want to have health insurance. I think Beachbody does have like options in terms of like they work in, you know, in conjunction with other health insurance people so they can, do that and you get like a discount or whatever. So if that's something you are worried about, just message your coach and we'll make sure we get you the correct answer in terms of that. Cause there definitely is something, cause there's tons of coaches that do that. It is one of the things in terms of like, there's always pros and cons to when you do something when you're self-employed, like paying taxes and things like that. But the payoff is so much worth it. So for me, like being full-time, like once I am I'm full-time, but like if Pat, like, I'm able to get Pat to quit his job, like we'll figure out that health insurance stuff. But if you're doing this part-time, it's a perfect, example that you can still have that on the side. You don't have to worry about that. All right, Vanessa, lastly, let's share, oh my gosh, I can't talk today. Vanessa, just share your story before I just bite off my own tongue.
Okay. I'm Vanessa. I can't remember if I signed up as a coach last December or January. I'm thinking it was the very beginning of the new year. So I'm coming up on a year soon. But backstory, I always considered myself the fat friend of my friend group in high school. I hung out with sticks. And looking back, I was not even fat. They were just teeny, teeny, tiny. But so I always considered myself the fat friend. And then my junior year in high school, I actually got kind of involved with drugs and ended up losing a ton of weight and ended up being underweight. But I thought it was awesome because I was skinny like my friends, but it was not awesome. It was not healthy at all. So then that happened. I met my boyfriend like a year later maybe, and then 6 months later we moved in together. I gained a ton of boyfriend weight. We ate Taco Bell and ice cream, literally Taco Bell like seriously 5 times a week. It was not okay. But I gained a ton of weight and ended up being like the heaviest I'd ever been in my life. And I also rave. That's how me and my boyfriend met. And I was on Instagram one day looking through shuffling hashtags, and I came across Alexis's page, and I immediately like fell in love with her everything. I was like, oh my gosh, she shuffles, she's fun, she's healthy. I'm not healthy, but I want to be healthy, and she's so happy. Oh my gosh. And then this was actually exactly a year ago. She was running a 3-day detox group for after Thanksgiving. And I was looking for a quick fix, something to lose weight fast, and I saw that as my opportunity. So I joined her detox group, and I got amazing physical results, and I felt awesome. And she invited me to her challenge group the next month. And I was like, heck yeah, you see what you helped me do in 3 days. Of course I'm going to join your group. So I joined her challenge group, and I was like, this is your job. This is what you do. Like, you run these groups and you're happy and you help people and you help me and you're amazing. And I was like, how the heck do I do this? And I was like in such a hurry to sign up. And I think as soon as that challenge group was over, I went and signed up, and I absolutely love it. I also have PTSD. I was diagnosed with PTSD just a year and a half ago, but I have been dealing with it, not knowing what it was since I was a sophomore in high school. So about 4 years now almost. And I've been getting these episodes since I was a sophomore in high school, never knowing what they were from. And then back in March, I did a 3-week vegan detox. And about halfway through this detox.
You're fine. Go ahead. You're fine.
Okay, about halfway through this detox, I noticed that I hadn't had one of my episodes since I started the detox, and I hadn't gone a single day without one of these episodes since I started getting them my sophomore year in high school. And this whole time, I thought that I just needed medicine and to go to the doctors, and I don't have health insurance, and I never could get that. But all I needed to be doing was eating clean and like focusing on my health. So this started for me as a weight loss journey. I fell in love with it from the very beginning and immediately wanted to sign up as a coach because I wanted to give it back to people because I've seen how it's helped me, and I just want to help others with it as well. But now it's turned into so much more, and it's actually about my health because I've seen how much it's improved, like my mental clarity and just everything, and it's just amazing. But actually, I just started going officially part-time about 2 or 3 weeks ago. My boss actually cut my hours at work, and if it weren't for coaching, I would have had to go find another job that I hate or something like that, or just go find another full-time job. And I didn't want to do that. And because I had coaching, I had this to fall back onto. And like, since I signed up, my goal has been to coach full-time one day, and that's still my goal. And so I saw that as an opportunity to put more time into this business. And so far it's been going really good. And yeah, that's about it now.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love your story. So I always think it's super important to share because you have so many different aspects that I think a lot of people can connect with. And I definitely think you should totally be sharing about the Taco Bell thing more often, because Alexa always shares about that, because so many people are addicted to fast food, and I can promise you so many people will connect with you on that level. But we're going to talk about sharing things about you. So anyway, we're going to get into some topics right now. And then we're just going to kind of go round table. So first, Danielle, why don't you share about the vital behaviors and what they are?
Sure. So Beachbody has vital behaviors that are kind of like the stepping stones to run your business. They give you step by step what to do every single day, and you'll move your business forward. So I found this really helpful when I first started, because when you first started as a coach, you're like, oh my gosh, I need direction. Like, what do I do? So these are like the things that you should be doing every single day to really get your business moving, and they don't take too much time. So number one is just working out and drinking your Shakeology and just fueling up yourself, giving your body the fuel it needs to go through the rest of the day. So, I mean, I started with Insanity, but now I'm doing 21 Day Fix Extreme. So you do that every day. It's a half an hour workout program. And there's a lot of workout programs that are, I think the shortest ones are like 22 minutes a day, which is totally doable, especially if you're working part-time. And then drinking Shakeology takes all of 5 minutes to prepare and drink. And it's delicious. And it's like, I don't know what I would do without it. I drink it every day for breakfast, and it's amazing. So that's the first vital behavior, is just being a product of the product and drinking Shakeology and doing your workouts and just treating your body like the temple it is. The second vital behavior is personal development. So personal development is so, so important. And I was one of those people that started and I was like, I'm fine. I don't need personal development. Like I got it. But I read my first book and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I go so long without it? You learn so much about yourself, so much about the world around you. It's like eye-opening. It just brings the world to like a whole nother level. And also you want to be pouring from a full glass. And if you're not filling yourself up, you're pouring from an empty glass, and you can't help people to the best of your ability. So it's so important for you to help yourself so you can help others do the same thing for themselves. So personal development is a major one. And like, you don't have to do just business personal development. It could be personal development on nutrition, on mindset, on sticking to your goals. It could be anything. It's just something that you feel you need in your life at that time. And you could pick a book or a podcast or an audiobook that really meets you where you need to be met at a particular time. The third vital behavior is inviting. So that just really means sharing your story on social media, which Alexa said a lot of you are doing already, just from, sharing your meals or sharing your workouts or anything like that. And then also reaching out to people and starting conversations, because people see you on social media and they're like, oh, like, wonder where that goes to. But I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like, if I wasn't a coach, I'd like not reach out to people. I'd be like, no, like I'll watch them, but I don't really want to talk to them. So it's really important for you to reach out to them and be like, hey, like this is what I'm doing, and just find out what they're doing and everything, and just get to know them, build a genuine relationship. And if they feel that like what you're doing could work for them, of course, help them with wherever they're struggling with, whether it be their mindset or nutrition or fitness or anything like that. Maybe they want to make an extra couple bucks every month. So it's so important to really build relationships and like not just try to like push products on people. We're not about that at all. We really want to meet people where they need to be met and help them with whatever they're struggling with. So those are the three vital behaviors. And there's a fourth vital behavior as well that you kind of get into more so into the business, and that's just recognition. Really just praising people for all the hard work and dedication they're putting in to themselves, into their business or anything like that, because it feels good to be recognized. And like people, I don't know, I feel like people succeed when their hard work is being recognized as opposed to like just brushed under the rug. So that's like another vital behavior that's kind of done when you get into the business more so. But the three vitals are just being a product of the product and doing personal development and inviting. And it's as simple as that. I feel like if you do that every day, it probably takes you between a half an hour, and then you're done. So it's a really good way to start your business off right while also doing it part-time.
Yes, exactly. And that, like, what she finished with was what I was just going to say. That's what you focus on when you're a new coach. That's all you need to focus on, is doing the vital behaviors. You learn all the other little things and you can sprinkle them in, but especially when you're doing something part-time, that's all you need to focus on, and your business will move forward if you're doing those things. Awesome. Thank you, Danielle. Okay. So next, Danny, can you share with us about personal development and all that fun stuff?
All that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our favorite.
Danielle touched on personal development a bit when she was talking about the 4 vital behaviors. So personal development is one of the vital behaviors that you are going to want to focus on when you are starting out right away from day one, building your business. And really what that means is that you are just working on the things that you feel like you need to strengthen in your life. You know, we all have different weaknesses, different strengths, things like that, but we all do have weaknesses. We all have things that we need to work on. And if you're a person who just thinks that you don't, you might want to reevaluate that, because we literally all have them. And even those of us who have been working on personal development and have been doing these things for a while, we still have things to work on. You know, as your life changes and you get new things that come into your life and different opportunities and all of these things, you need to work on different things based on what's kind of going on in your life at that time. So we kind of start out, we usually kind of recommend, kind of a starter book that is really good for people who, are just coming in right away. And then kind of from there, everyone is just kind of on their own journey with personal development, and we can help recommend like books for you, things like that really might be tailored to what you want to work on. So for example, right now I am reading a book that has to do with like mindset about money, and not being like so closed off to money and things like that, which is like something I would have never thought about before coaching. And I'm the only person, that I know right now that's reading that book, and everyone's kind of doing their own thing. So we kind of all are just working on the things that we need to work on right now. And one way to do this, so obviously I do still work, at a full-time job, and I actually commute to that job. One way is like 45 minutes. So I'm in the car a ton. So I actually have the app Audible, and I download audiobooks instead of physically reading them for the most part. And that's because otherwise the time in the car for me feels really wasted. And so when I'm in the car, I just plug on my Audible and I can listen to my personal development book on my commute on my way to work. And that time is like being put to use, in good use. So even if you have like a 10-minute commute, a 15-minute commute, something like that, you listen 10 minutes there, 10 minutes back, that's 20 minutes of personal development that you're getting each and every day. And that's all we recommend. We just recommend 10 to 20 minutes, like spending time on like bettering whatever you want to work on every day. So that's kind of when I do it. The other thing I wanted to really quickly touch on is like positive affirmations and positive self-talk. So this is a really, really, really kind of key thing that has really helped me along the way. I have always historically been somebody who had like pretty low self-confidence, cared a lot about what other people thought about me, and had a lot of negative self-talk. And affirmations have really kind of changed that for me. Of course, it's something I'm still working on every day. I still get the negative self-talk every once in a while. We all kind of do, but it's something that I'm working on. And just having that positive self-talk is literally life-changing. And it's something that we teach our challengers to when they are focusing for their health and fitness journeys. And it's something that, we focus on in our business as well. So it's not just a business thing. You should do that no matter what. Whatever you want to continue to work on, positive self-talk and affirmations and visualizing something that you really want is game changer, really. End of the story.
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah. And something I'm going to share about, and when I talk about team calls and trainings, but I just thought to add on there is with personal development, something I do, and I do this full time, but something that I do to kind of kill time is listen to personal development while I'm doing laundry, folding laundry, while I'm cleaning my house, while I'm doing activities that are kind of mindless that I don't really have to think while I do. You don't want to do it while you're like doing something super important, but those, you can always find cracks of time to do it. It doesn't have to be an hour each time. Okay, so I'm going to really quick talk about building contact lists and reaching out and inviting with people. So contact lists are something that I suggest coaches do every single week. Now, instead, that's something that takes a lot of time. So if you are part-time and you don't have time to just be messaging 75 people every single day, is to build your contact list at the beginning of the week. So on Sunday, you don't have to work during the weekends. I don't work during the weekends. Now, in the beginning of your business, you may, especially if you work a lot of hours during the week, you probably are going to need to work on the weekends, not all day long, but depending on how much you want out of the business. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk is one of my biggest, role models, always talks about, like, he says, eat shit for 2 to 3 years so then you can live your life like you want to. And you always should be working hard, but in the beginning of your business, doing things, making little sacrifices like that are going to be what makes you successful, especially if you are starting part-time, but you want to be full-time. You have to do things like that. But if you aren't necessarily needing to go gung-ho right away, you just kind of want to make a couple extra bucks, you don't have to do that. But in terms of making a contact list, something that can save you time, and everybody should be doing it anyway, is to build a contact list every Sunday. Just sit down for 30 minutes, just put it in your calendar. You can watch the football, watch, Netflix, do whatever you want to do. But for 30 minutes, sometime on a Sunday, just sit down and build a contact list of people that you want to reach out to. There's so many ways you can build contact lists, and we teach all of that, so I'm not going to get into too much of it right now. But you find people through Instagram, through hashtags, through location tags, through Instagram stories, doing things like making a post. A challenge that I gave one of our push groups a few days ago was to make a before and after post, and then the next morning go through everybody that had liked it and just reach out to them and say, hey, thank you so much for liking my before and after. It isn't always, easy to share my story. I didn't know, and putting in the caption something like this if you're interested in learning how you can do this too, or you can be a part of my next group. And then all you have to do is say, I saw that you liked my post. Weren't sure if you were just showing support or if you actually wanted more information. Now, that might seem foreign to you if you haven't done it before, but I can promise you I've gotten so many people that are like, well, I was just liking it, but sure, I'd like more information. And then you kind of just get to know them, ask them, what their goals and their struggles are, and then you give them some information. But you can build your contact list that way. You can add people, find people through, common interest Facebook groups. There's so many different ways you can build your contact list. And again, we teach that in the trainings, but as long as you build that contact list during the beginning of the week, then all you have to do is focus on building the relationships and messaging people, in the little cracks of time that you have. Whether it's just 10 minutes a day, I'm going to, catch up with all the people I'm building relationships with, and boom, there you have it. In terms of inviting, the biggest thing is, that we do is not just inviting someone to buy something from you. You're just not like, hey, do you want to buy this for me? Do you want to buy this bag of Shakeology? That's gross. Nobody wants to do that. You don't want to do that. I don't want you to do that. So what we focus on, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, is about our free groups, but it's inviting to a free group first and then building a relationship with them, giving them value, showing them all the awesome stuff in the group, and then inviting them to a challenge group. And I teach this whole formula about how to build a contact list, how to build a relationship, how to eventually invite, and then invite to a challenge group when you join. But that's basically kind of the system that we follow. So you get to know someone versus just trying to sell them something without even getting to know them. And then they buy into you and your story. And like Vanessa said, she found me through shuffling and she was like, oh my gosh, I like her so much, and blah, 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 blah. Like, people will get that way with you. The more you share your story and you be vulnerable, people will buy into you and not just the product. So some ways that you can kind of make sure that you're kind of speeding up the process in terms of inviting, if you're kind of doing this part-time, is making sure that you're sticking to a plan. If you go into your week and you're just like, oh, I think I'm just going to invite this one person, just pick random people, it's going to be a hot mess. But if you make a plan and you'll figure that out and your upline coach will help you, you'll figure out kind of how to go through all of that stuff. Using things like Streak, which is a system that we use to track our contacts. We teach you how to use that, but it's basically like you put your people in there, and there's also Asana and Teamsy, lots of different kind of like contact list things that you do to track your people. But all of that, you kind of put it in there, so then you don't have to worry about where's that piece of paper that I had with the 30 names on it. It's all in your computer. Even if you just do it in an Excel sheet, there's ways to make it so you don't lose your mind, you can be organized, and you don't stress yourself out. Okay, so next we have Vanessa. So Vanessa, if you could share with us all about kind of Instagram stories, Snapchat, kind of how that helps your business.
Okay. So Instagram stories are my life. I love Instagram stories. So basically, I honestly myself don't use Snapchat that much just because I don't think to, honestly, but I love my Instagram stories. I'm all over my Instagram stories. Basically, it's really important to make your page visible and be consistent with your posting so people are constantly seeing your name pop up. And Instagram stories are a perfect way to do that. And it's super quick, super easy. The videos are only 15 seconds long. Snapchat now, you can do longer videos if you want, but they used to be only 10 seconds. But either way, I'm sure you guys probably already are familiar with it and use it a lot. But it's also really cool on those kind of things because you can see who's actually watching it. Because I know maybe if you've seen someone post a long Instagram story or Snapchat story, sometimes you might click through it super quick, or you might just skip through it, and you'll notice you can see if you post a long Instagram story or something, you can see that number slowly gets smaller the further into your video or your story that you get, because some people don't care to watch the whole thing. So it's really cool because you can see who's actually interested in watching the whole thing, and it's a really good way to start conversation as well. So whenever you're doing your invites or you're starting new conversations to build new relationships, you can do it based off that. There's also the new poll feature on the Instagram stories, which I think is super helpful. So you can ask random questions, and that's a great way to start conversation. Or you could even do your invites from there or get started on some invites that way by saying, hey, are you interested in this? Or would you like more information on this? And then you can grab names from there and message those people. I also like it for sharing sneak peeks of my workouts. Some of you might already do that, but you can just post like little clips of your workout every day. And I've had people approach me and they're like, hey, what workout are you doing? And then there you go. So then cool announcements for stuff like we announced the webinar or anything else. But it's just a really quick and easy way to get your name out there and make your page visible, so that you're not wasting time, but spending a lot of time making post after post after post, which is still important to post regular things on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff. But the Instagram stories are nice because it's a lot quicker. And most people I know like you said, Alexis, you were sitting there scrolling through Instagram a lot. I do that too. But they'll spend like 20-30 minutes just going through Instagram stories and Snapchat stories and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And the cool thing about it is, and I'm going to kind of touch on this when we go into over objections, but with the Instagram stories, you use it to grow your business exactly like Vanessa was talking about, but you also use it to display like your personality, because while your post, you don't want to post 75 times a day, but you can post multiple times on Instagram stories. So you kind of let people in to see like the true side of you. Not that you aren't sharing that on your page, but you really get to share that, and they see that, in your Instagram story. So it's definitely a really great way to share stuff about your business and then just share you, because you want people to get excited about you. So, okay. And there's also a really awesome call that we just had a girl, Crystal, do, that if you join, you'll obviously get access to. And that's a cool thing. If you like have been wanting to grow your Instagram, and you're just doing it on your own, I get people all the time that message me and they're like, oh, can you give me advice on how to grow my Instagram? And I'm like, oh, dude, if you just joined as a coach, you know how much training you'd get for free? You don't have to like spend thousands of dollars, like doing all these trainings. Like we literally give you trainings for free. So, I mean, why not? Okay. Danielle, you are next with scripts.
Yes, I love this topic. Okay, so when I first started as a coach, you're talking to a lot of people sometimes, depending on how much you want to move your business. And people tend to ask the same questions over and over again, or ask you for an explanation of something over and over again, which is totally fine. Like, that's a good thing that they're interested in what you have to offer. And I want to preface this. You always want to have genuine conversations. You don't ever want to just like script people, because that's just like icky and gross and salesy, and like that's not what we're about. So I always make sure I really build a relationship with this person that I'm talking to, and say, they ask me, can you tell me a little bit more about Shakeology? Instead of typing all of that out every single time, because I know I'll probably forget things, I have like a little paragraph that just literally explains Shakeology really quick. I can copy and paste it and boom, send it to them. So I have a working list of scripts. It's on a Google Drive, so all my coaches have access to it. And if they ever need something, and I update it constantly, literally every day I go in there and like change something around or add something, delete something that I don't feel like really works anymore. And so it's super accessible, and you could just like go in there, copy and paste, and then just like send it to whoever was asking the question or whoever wanted the explanation of something. Now, again, like I said, these are not conversations like that you're scripting. These are just explanations of things to make it easier, so that when you are on the go and you like don't have time to think out like, oh, what should I say? Like, how should I respond to like someone asking me what's an accountability group? You're not going to sit there and like take 30 minutes to like literally break it down. You already have it, so you can copy and paste it and send it. And I know that when I was working full time, this was a huge game changer, because whether like I could literally be walking out of my office to my car and like send someone an explanation about like a challenge group that would normally take me like 20 minutes to write out. So it was super, like it just saves a lot of time, and it also helps you make, like, it's peace of mind too. Like, that your explanations that you typed up are good to go, and like there's no like mistakes in them or anything like that. You're not forgetting anything. So it gives you a lot of peace of mind too, having this. And like I said, you're not going to sign up as a coach and be expected to write all of them yourself. We already have them for you. You don't need to make them all up yourself. We can literally give them to you, and you can, tweak them a little bit, make them your own. Because I mean, none of us talk the same, but it's the same the same information. So it's super easy for you to just make it your own. And like I said, just save time on the fly and just get people the correct information when they need it. So I love scripts, and I've been using them ever since I started as a coach. And I honestly started with a bunch of Alexis's scripts, and then I made them my own, and now I make my own for my coaches. So you're not coming in blind. Like, we have everything for you, and it's all set for you to go.
Yes. And there's like 4 or 5 scripts that I like. Some coaches join and they take a little bit to get people signed up. I have some people join and they're literally like the next day they're like, okay, somebody's asking me about Shakeology. I'm like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, but it's a good thing. So I automatically send them my script. I'm like, here's my script. Change it around to make it work for you. But like literally, like you could join today and sign someone up tomorrow, and I would help you basically explain what Shakeology is, even if you're not able to do it yet. You know what I mean? So you will get, just like Danielle said, everything you need. We will guide you 100% to kind of get you there. Okay. So really quick, I am going to talk about some clean eating groups and free groups. So clean eating groups and free groups and challenge groups in general are like our bread and butter of Beachbody. I always tell coaches when I'm explaining what coaching is or a new coach joins, I always say, don't lead with our products, lead with the group. You don't want to be a coach that gives people products. We are coaches that run groups, and people get the products to join the groups. Now they can join with a bunch of different products and whatever. And Vanessa after this is going to talk about Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology, which is kind of like our main thing that people join with. But the groups that we have, there's lots of, other things they can join with. But before they get into the group, we like to hold things like free clean eating groups. I hold free meditation groups. I know I think Vanessa was a part of like a Miracle Morning group, and she ran some other group. Like all of the coaches on this call have run a bunch of different kinds of free groups. The cool thing is that free groups are a great resource for a new coach and for coaches that are doing this part-time, because you don't have to worry about having to run a group right away. It's not like you join and you have to go run your own groups. You're going to run, sorry, that's Ned. You're going to run, these free groups to be able to invite them to. If you're a brand new coach and you're like, oh, I'm not ready to get someone to buy something yet, invite them to your free group. But we actually want you to invite someone to a free group before you ever even invite them to a challenge group. Now, it doesn't mean you can't, but you get them into the free group. They get support. They see value. They fall in love with, like Vanessa said, she joined my group and she was like, well, of course, yeah, I want to join your next group. Like, this was awesome. That's what you will get people to do when they join your free group. Now, they might not join right away, because it usually takes people between like the 8th and the 12th time. That's like a sales statistic. It takes between the 8th and the 12th time of you talking to them about something, just like it takes you between the 8th and 12th time of seeing the same Lululemon pair of pants in like a magazine and on a Pandora ad for you to buy them. Same thing with us. But we are just there to support people until they're ready. So you get them into the free group. They love it. They want to join your challenge group, and you invite them to a challenge group. And that's kind of, how it is. And the cool thing about the free groups, we hold free clean eating groups. We give you all the resources for that. So you literally could join today and run a group tomorrow. And I would give you my Google Drive folder that has the posts, the captions of the posts, the time to post them, the files, the meal plans, literally everything. And you don't have to do a thing. And you want to add your own flair to it, but that's just the awesomeness of being, a part of this team. And then you can run free groups. I've heard, people running like, I run meditation groups. I've heard of people running like water groups, self-love groups, just whatever thing is like your thing. Run free groups, connect with people on a different level, show them the value that you have to offer. Then they're going to want to be a part of the, their next group. When you see somebody that you like and they sell a book or they come out with like a, pair of shoes, you want to buy it because you're like, this person's just awesome. I love what they are always giving me. They want more of that. So that's kind of the whole idea of, free groups. And then our challenge groups, we usually hold them, either on Facebook or in an app. They're 30 days. We go over like, health and fitness, personal development. And basically it's just, checking in with them in the morning, giving them a fun task, like taking a cool picture of a, yoga pose somewhere. And then we, do random other tasks like sharing recipes and then giving personal development things and meditations and all that stuff. And then at night we do like nightly recaps, like how was your water? How was your nutrition? How was your workout? Just to keep people accountable. But you can run your group however you want. But when you first join, we're going to guide you. And then as you grow into being a coach, you will figure out what works best for you. So Vanessa, share with us about Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology.
Okay. So for the, we usually like to sign people up for the challenge packs. Typically, we build the relationships with people, like we've said before, to find out exactly what they're struggling with, what their goals are, how we can help them. And we feel that the challenge pack is the best way we can help them 9.5 times out of 10, because it comes with literally everything you need. I think it's the best deal because it comes with everything. But basically, Beachbody On Demand is like the Netflix of all workout programs. It's amazing. Do I sound muffled?
I'd move your laptop. Like it might be covered.
Okay, is that better?
A little bit better. You can still hear you. It's just a little muffled. You're fine. Just keep going.
Let me put it on this table.
There you go. Now you sound good.
Here the team. Okay.
There you go.
What was I saying? Okay, so yeah, we call Beachbody On Demand the like Netflix of workout programs, and it's amazing. Before Beachbody On Demand, they had like the individual programs that you buy like on DVD, and you could only get like one program at a time, so they ended up spending more money getting the new programs and stuff. But Beachbody On Demand comes with everything. If you have the all access, you get access to all existing programs, plus any new programs that come out, they automatically get put on your account. And then along with the challenge pack comes with Shakeology as well. And Shakeology, a lot of people think it's just a normal protein shake or weight loss shake, whatever, but it's so much more than that. It's packed with a ton of superfoods and dense nutrition. And it's really important to the groups because our nutrition is 80% of what is that? That scares me.
Fine, keep going.
The nutrition is 80% of where we get our results from, and so the Shakeology helps along with that, plus other things like I talked about my PTSD before. And my PTSD has affected my memory really bad, and drinking Shakeology has actually improved my memory. So it's really amazing. But yeah, we said the workouts were really short before, and Shakeology takes no time to prepare and drink. And to check in with the challenge groups or any other group, it takes just as long as it does to check your Facebook or your Instagram. So it takes maybe 5 minutes to check in with your people and see how they're doing, follow up with them. And I think that's all I have on that.
Awesome. Yeah. It's the thing about Beachbody On Demand Shakeology is just that's like Vanessa said, 9.5 times out of 10, it's pretty much the best option. And it does make everything a lot quicker and easier for everybody to do. Something I wanted to mention that I totally forgot to mention about the groups in terms of like, if you're doing this part-time, is when you run groups, you do not have to run them by yourselves. You run them with other coaches. So like if you're running it for 30 days, I'll run a group for 1 week. Vanessa will run it for the second week. Danny will run it for the third week, and Danielle will run it for the fourth week. So you kind of do that to kind of space it out. But I just wanted to mention that because I forgot to mention that. But awesome. Okay, so Danny, you're next with community and support, which is the reason why I joined.
Yeah. Yeah. So the community support is like Lexa said, is a really big reason why a lot of people join. If you're kind of thinking about it, growing up, when you're in high school, you're in college, all that stuff, it's super easy to like make friends because there's always people around doing similar things as you who are very open to making friends. But you get out of the college scene, you get out of high school, whatever, you kind of grow up, you start getting a full-time job, things like that. It's really hard to like feel connected to a lot of people and to find enough like friends or people that have the same interests as you and things like that. And I know that's something that I really struggled with after college was like, especially when I wanted to really get healthy and things, was that I didn't have a lot of people in my life or in my life physically that wanted those same things as I did, that wanted to be healthy, that wanted to try new things, that wanted to do this stuff. There was so many people who like wanted to go out and wanted to like binge drink every night or every weekend and all of these things where it was just like, that wasn't really something that I wanted to do anymore. So when I joined this team, that was kind of something that I wasn't necessarily looking for, but it was a nice surprise when I got it, was that there was all of these women who had all of these like similar mindset to me and all wanted to work on their health, but also like wanted to have fun and have a balanced life and still could enjoy pizza and beer and all of these things that, that I enjoyed. And so it was really nice. And we all have this, big team page, and whenever there is questions or, somebody came up with something awesome that they wanted to share, recipes or, whatever, we all kind of bounce ideas back and forth off of each other. When someone is struggling, we help them out. So for example, I have been having a hard time waking up in the morning, and so I posted in our team page today and I just said, hey, who wants to work out with me tomorrow morning, 6:30? I need to make sure that I get my butt up and work out. And Alexis was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's work out together. So tomorrow morning, we're going to virtually work out together and make sure that we get it done. But you can't just do that. Like, you can't just do that. Like, you're all of the time. There are people who are going to go to the gym with you, whatever, work out with you, but there's not those consistent people that are going to do it for you long term all of the time like this community does. So there's the community with the business side and with our team side, but then there's also the community that you're building when you start your challenge groups, when you're inviting, people to join you. You are going to build these awesome relationships and build your own little community with people who are exactly like you. There's a phrase that we use in our business that is, your vibe attracts your tribe. And so whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back. So I have this group of women who have been in my challenge groups some of them have been in my same challenge groups for a year. And I have an awesome relationship with them. I can't even tell you how many times women have told me that they are pregnant because they're asking me like, what can I do, with this, blah, 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 before they've told their husband or their partner, and that is it. Like, they haven't told their family yet. They haven't told these things. And it's like, that means a lot to me, like that they trust me enough that they can tell me this and that they can confide in this, and that, we've built this friendship. And some of these women I've never met in person. So it's really, really cool to have these like relationships with people that you have met online who turn out to be like some of, your greatest friends.
Yeah, for sure. And a community is a lot of people don't realize that you're going to get that out of it, but that's like the reason I joined, because I saw it and I was like, I want that. So it's really awesome. And honestly, just in terms of like not having the people around you that are, going to support you all the time. Sometimes it's your own family that isn't there. So for me, some of the people that are on the team, I'm like, I'm closer with than I am, not closer than my own family, but like I can, like she said, people are telling her that they're pregnant before they tell, their own spouse. I definitely feel like some people on my team are probably going to be in my wedding, and I like have like one friend that's going to be like my wedding's going to be like all Beachbody people. Okay, so there's two topics that I'm going to kind of just mash together really quick so we can go to objections and then talk about the Q&A, or go into the Q&A if anybody has any questions. The last two parts are about team calls and trainings, and then kind of how we make money and trips and prizes and stuff. So with team calls and trainings, this is something that we give you every week, every month, all the time. So we do a team call that's every Tuesday at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. And we do the same thing. We're on Zoom. It's not necessarily on Facebook, but we all hop on Zoom and I'll speak. We have guest speakers. We teach you different things. So you are literally getting free training that you don't have to pay for to help you with your business. Sometimes it's just about personal development. Sometimes it's like Instagram things. You're going to learn so much. And if you're working part-time and you can't get on the call live, we record all the calls. So again, like Danny was saying, I know Danielle for the longest time, probably still does, watches team, well, maybe not watches them, but listens to team calls for the YouTube video that we do while she's driving. So you can totally do that. So even if you're like, okay, I work part-time, but I don't have any time to watch these trainings, I'd say to question that, because I can guarantee you can probably, Gary Vaynerchuk always says, let me audit you and see if I bet you I can find 4 hours of time that you're not doing anything. Now I know a lot of people might not have 4 hours, but there's totally time that you can fit in there, especially if you want to make it work. That's the difference. If this is just like you're doing just some Beachbody thing and it's not really something that you want to do, you're not going to do it. But if you want to live the life that most people won't live, you have to make the sacrifices and not watch as much TV and not do all these things, because if you're living a badass life and you never have to worry about bills or anything again, to me, that's worth giving up TV. So we give tons of training. We do, different groups. So, when you first join as a new coach, we do we just started this new 2-week training where we go Facebook Live and share different things about like kind of how to get you started as a brand new coach. So if you're like, okay, I want to join, but like, you're going to throw me to the wolves. No, we're not. We're going to put you in trainings. We do Voxer mentorships where I, myself and other coaches, use Voxer, which is like a walkie-talkie app where we basically put a bunch of new coaches in there and we kind of help them. This is new to us, but we help them, succeed with the Voxer mentorship. So I ask a question, the new coach asks a question, I answer the question, and everybody else gets the answer. So we really help everybody in a, a little group type of way, and in the team page as well. So in terms of making money, this is not something I get too much into, like the nitty gritty, because I could have a whole call in it. But there's lots of ways you can make money. The main way you're going to make money as a brand new coach is going to be through retail, or the 25% commission that you make from selling things. So you sell a bag of Shakeology, you're going to make $32. You sell, whatever, you're going to make 25% of that. So that's the main way you're going to make money when you first join as a coach. We also make 40% of any time we get somebody to sign up for Beachbody On Demand, which is pretty cool. And we also make something called a team cycle bonus. Again, not going to get too much into it because it would be really hard to understand without understanding the binary system of Beachbody. But basically, once you help your team be successful and you help them grow their volume, it helps you grow your income. But the thing about it is everybody's always like, isn't this a pyramid scheme? What a pyramid scheme is if I had an air conditioning company and I was like, here, buy all these air conditionings from me so I can make $10,000, and then you keep all these air conditioning units in your house, and if you don't succeed, too bad, I made $10,000 off of you. That's not how this works. You have to help your coaches be successful or you won't be successful. But the thing about it is, especially if you're like, wait, I do this part-time, how am I supposed to coach coaches? We coach your coaches for you. When you're a brand new coach, I, as your upline and as the team upline and the other uplines, a part of our huge team, run trainings to help your coaches be successful. So it's not your job to coach your coaches. It's just your job to be there for them and help support them. And you could be a brand new coach. I was a brand new coach and signed up one of my first coaches who ended up being number 7 in the company in 2014. She was one of the first coaches I signed up. And you know how I signed her up? I was like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing with this, but I love it. I want you to be a part of me growing this whole thing. And you seem like an awesome chick. Like, let's do this together. People love being a part of growing something. So even if you're brand new, don't think that you can't get people to join you. Just be so freaking jazzed about the company, the community, the products. People are going to want to join you, especially once they try everything. And then we have lots of awesome trips and prizes if you hit certain goals. Like a lot of us are going on the trip next year in a few months. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. To Riviera Maya, Mexico, which is so exciting, which I get to hang out with my coaches, touching on the community aspect. I get to hang out with all my coaches that I don't get to see all the time. Like, I would have never had that if it wasn't for social media. So that's all really cool. But in terms of money that I want you guys to remember before we move to objections is that if you're doing this part-time and maybe you're not sure if you want to do it full-time, this can be for me, this is what really motivated me in the beginning. I was like, oh my gosh, I can make a part-time income and then kind of like never have to worry about groceries again. Because like, let's say your full-time income pays for everything else. What if your Beachbody money could just pay for your groceries? And then technically you never have to worry about groceries because Beachbody money covers the groceries, or it covers your gas, or it covers, your kid's daycare, or it goes into a vacation fund. Something like that is pretty damn cool to have as a part-time thing. So this is totally something that can benefit you in so many ways without needing it to be a full-time income. Okay, so we're going to really quick talk about the objections. And if anybody has any questions, type them in the chat box now. And then if you don't, we'll just move towards the Shakeology giveaway. But Danielle, why don't you cover the objection of the I am too busy to be a coach?
Sure. So like I said before, I started coaching when I was in grad school. So I was getting my master's degree, and then I was also working 3 jobs on top of that. And because coaching is so flexible, you can work it whenever you have time. So like, I remember I was lifeguarding. So we did, I think it was like half-hour shifts. So someone was up on the stand for half an hour, and then we would switch. So like during that half hour when I'm not on the stand, I could be working my business. Or say like you're waiting for your child to come out of school and you're waiting in the parking lot. You could be working your business. And like I worked, and then, from grad school and working those 3 jobs, I got a full-time corporate job. And I know you guys know this, but I was commuting 3 hours a day. And I was working 40 hours a week plus, depending on what they needed me. So I was working like 55 hours a week, and I was still able to do my coaching business. Like literally, I just made the time for it because you can do it whenever you want. It's like, it's beautiful because you could literally just fit it into like pockets in your day when you have time. So like I'd wake up an hour earlier in the morning, get my workout in, drink my Shakeology. On my lunch break, I would answer my messages. And then, when I got home from work, I'd catch up on anything that I forgot to do like the rest of the day. So it's really, really, really customizable. And I mean, I know a lot of people have super busy lives. Like, believe me, I totally understand that. But if like Alexis said, if you're dedicated to making this work, like you'll find the time. And like, honestly, sometimes I even work my business when I'm in the bathroom. So like there's so much time that like you have that you don't realize you have. Like Alexa said, like maybe just cut out like one Netflix show a night, and you can like do half of all your behaviors in one night that you need to do. So I understand you're busy. I've been there. I'm still there. Like I don't think I'll ever not be busy because I'm totally a busybody and like cannot function when I don't have things to do. But because it's so customizable, and because we give you all the resources you need to be successful, you can do this in the little pockets of time that you have throughout your day, whether it be just when you're in the bathroom, whether it be when you're driving to work or on your lunch break, anything like that. Or even when I remember sometimes my fiance and I will watch a show, but like he'll be watching the show kind of, and I'll be just like doing my thing on my phone. I'm still watching, but just making productive use of your time instead of kind of letting it go to, I don't even know how to like indulgences, I guess. But there is time throughout your day. It's just up to you to spend it on your business. And like I said, we give you all the resources you need to be successful with this and to make it take the least amount of time possible.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, especially with like doing things like working while, you know, her fiance is watching TV. I know a lot of people are like, well, I want to spend time with my significant other. You can totally do that. And it's not like you have to do this all the time. And the big important thing that I talked about before is that it's doing the sacrifices and doing things like that for the first few years of your business. So then later on, I know a coach right now who is, she's one of the top in the company. I can't remember her damn name. I was talking to somebody about it before this call. And she is a 15-star diamond in 2 business centers. So that means she's basically making a lot of money, and she's very successful. She only works 4 hours a day because she's got kids, she's got a family, she's got a bunch of other stuff she's got to do, but she's worked her ass off in the first few years of her business. So now she can still make millions of dollars, like not like 6 figures, 7 figures, and work 4 hours a day. You're telling me that it's not worth it to cut out some Netflix for a year so you can work 4 hours a day and make $1 million? Like, don't even tell me. There's no way. I will never watch. I will not watch Netflix for a whole year if it means that I can work 4 hours a day and make $1 million. Just saying. Okay, so Vanessa, share with us about the objection. I don't want to be a salesperson.
Okay. Okay. So this is something that is actually kind of common for, I feel like people are iffy about, is they don't want to be salesy. And I actually used to have a sales job, and I didn't know it was a sales job whenever I signed up, but I ended up being really good at it. But that job made me scared of sales. And so that's something I was even iffy about starting out. But this is so much different. This is not like door-to-door sales. We're not like cold calling people or just like we talked about before. We don't just message people and say, hey, buy Shakeology, or do you want to be in my challenge group? It's $160. Do you want to do that? Like, we don't do that. We take the time, we find the people that we like have common interests with through the hashtags, through mutual friends on Facebook, something like that. So we take the time to find people that we think we could truly build a relationship with and have a connection with. And then we start the conversations with them. We build the relationships, and that takes time. We take time to build relationships so that we can establish trust between the two of us, and so they trust you, so that they know you're there to genuinely help them. Yeah, we don't sell the products. We focus more on just sharing the benefits of them, because we've seen how these products have helped us and benefited us, and we share our stories like that, and we want to help those people. So we're not selling to them. We're just sharing how it'll help them. And I believe that was it.
Awesome. Yeah, that was perfect. Absolutely perfect. The only other thing that I would add, that I always add, it's like my thing I always share because I feel like it's so important, but it's kind of just adding on to what Vanessa said, just in a different way, is that people don't buy into the products, they buy into you. If Kim Kardashian were to come out with a perfume and it smelled like the bottom of a trash can, people would still buy it because they buy into her. They don't buy into the product. So that's the goal for you as a coach, is to work on yourself, and you'll get there. You're not going to do it the day you sign up. I am a completely different person, compared to what I was when I first started 5 years ago. But you just share you and your journey. Like, think about somebody that you follow on Instagram that you're like, oh my God, I just freaking love this person. You check their Instagram story, you check their Instagram, you check everything. If they had Snapchat, you check it too. That is what you want to be for people. And you can be. Don't think that you're not interesting, because you are. You're interesting to somebody. And you'll get better growing yourself as a person. So just remember that. That's super important. Okay. Danny, the objection of no one is going to buy from me.
Okay. So this is really kind of similar to stuff that Vanessa and Alexis just touched on. So this probably will be pretty short for me, but, a lot of people, I hear that a ton from people. Like, I don't know anybody who's going to coach, or nobody's going to want to buy anything from me, or, anything like that. And first off, I had that same objection, that same thought right away, because when I first started, I was overweight, and I was like, well, why would somebody want to buy something from me because I'm overweight? That's I would never buy something from someone who's overweight, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's a total opposite. People actually want to buy things from you and want to join up with you if they can see that it's working for you. So the kicker here is that you have to be a product of the product, and you have to use the product, and you have to see some sort of benefit from them. And then when you're sharing that with people and they see you are a real life person with real life problems and they're able to connect from you, they're going to much rather want to buy that from you and join your challenge group and invest money in you if they can see that it's working for you, versus somebody that they have no idea who they are or anything like that. So I had those same reservations about like, no one is going to want to buy from me, all of these things. And what I did is I put my nose to the ground and I worked on myself and I worked on my own journey, and I had a really great transformation that I was able to share with people, and that was able to A, give me some credibility, and B, be able to connect with people who were in the same boat as me, that they wanted to lose 20 pounds and that they could see that these products really work and that they were not a gimmick. And I had thought that I wasn't going to be able to help any of my family, any of my friends, anything like that. And all I have to say to that is I have helped so many of my family members, and your family members are usually the hardest ones to kind of convince into like changing something. And I have helped so many of my family members that I never thought I was going to be able to help, because I shared my journey and I was consistent and I saw results, because these things work. And it has been so cool to see the transformation of those people. So if you are thinking that of like, no one's going to buy from me, blah, 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 whatever, that's just a personal development thing, and we can totally work on that together.
For sure. That's definitely just 100% mindset. So just to speed this up, I'm going to just mash my last, because I have two last topics, and then Vanessa, you'll go after, but I'm going to cover the two topics of everything is so expensive, nobody's going to buy it because it's too expensive and the market is saturated. So with everything being too expensive, it's not about you trying to convince someone to spend a certain amount of money. It's to show the value in it to get them to do it. And I'm going to mention something I did in the last call that I thought was funny, but it's so true. But with the value of something, you need to show someone that there's the value in what we have to offer with Shakeology. So if someone wants to, like, girls, if they see a pair of shoes that they like, it doesn't matter if they were like, oh, yesterday they said they're broke. If they see those shoes, they're going to find a way to make that happen. So we have to show people that there's value in this. So no matter what we're selling, even if it's, whatever, I lost my train of thought, but anyway, but showing them value in Shakeology and showing them the ways that it's helped us, the way that Beachbody On Demand helps us. And honestly, I know that for some people it is really tough to spend the money, but the thing about it is that, if we're just doing a good job of showing how we make it work for us and explaining to them that it really isn't as expensive as they think it is. When somebody just looks at the $130 sticker price, it does seem like a lot. When you realize that it's only about $4 a day, you're replacing a meal, so you're spending less money. When most people are spending, like, if I go out and I go out in the city in Philly and I buy lunch, I love a place called Honey Grow. It's like $14 for lunch. $4 for a shake. It really is not that much, but people just look at the sticker price. So as long as you're doing a good job and showing the value of it, that's going to be the biggest thing. What else? And it also, the thing about all of this is it saves time in the long run in terms of like Shakeology. You're not spending all this, it saves time and money, but you're not spending all this money on hospital bills. You're not spending all this money on, I was used to take a multivitamin and a probiotic. The multivitamin was $30. The probiotic was $52. That's like $70, half the price of Shakeology. And now I'm not taking those because it has a multivitamin, has a probiotic, has a prebiotic, digestive enzymes, antioxidants, all these things that are going to help you that you don't need to spend money on. And the other part about the market being saturated, that's just like Danny said, is it a personal development thing? If you think that you live in a world of lack, then that is just a personal thing. And there is enough success to go around for everyone. There is not too much of anything. There's 570 million people in North America. We just opened a market in the UK. We're going to continue to open it. I heard that we're supposedly opening one in Mexico, not anytime soon, but that's going to be our next country. And we're going to continue to open up country by country. And it's just opening up a floodgate of people to help. If you see a lot of coaches on your timeline, it's just because you're friends with them. You have how many friends? Like 2,000, 3,000? Like you can only have 5,000 friends on Facebook. Even if you had 5,000 friends, how many people are you really seeing on your timeline? It's just the things that happen to float into your newsfeed. It seems like the market is saturated, but I can promise you it's not. I get messages from people all the time that I'm like, oh, have you heard about Beachbody? And they're like, no. I'm like, you lived under a rock? Like people still don't know about it. And even if they have, another last point I want to make, and then I'll switch it over to Vanessa, is that with before and afters. You can see an Insanity infomercial and see somebody with their before and after. And you're like, great, that's wonderful. You look amazing, but it really doesn't do anything for me. But when somebody sees you do an Insanity workout and then you post your results, they're like, wait, I know that person. Like that person got results. It's not just a person on TV. It's so much more something they connect with. So they may have seen it on Insanity. They may have seen it from somebody else, but when they see it from you and they like you and trust you, they're going to purchase and join your group. So it's not saturated. I can promise you that. Okay. So Vanessa, lastly, just share with us, I'm not at my goal weight. Why would anyone want me to be there?
Okay. Danny covered almost every single point I had on that, so it won't be too long. But this is definitely something that can be used to your advantage for sure. And people do really enjoy watching your progress. And it's cool not being at your goal weight because, well, I mean, even whether you are or you aren't at your goal weight when you start, there's always room to progress. Because even if you get to your goal weight, you're not going to stop, right? So you're going to keep going, and you always have new before and after pictures to post, which people like to see. So anytime new programs come out that you try and you're promoting that new program, you have new before and after pictures to see. But yeah, honestly, Danny covered most of what I had for that. So that's all I had to add.
That's totally fine. I mean, we're wrapping up here anyway. But yeah, I mean, when people tell me that they're either not at their goal weight, or we kind of didn't add this objection, but like, I don't have the right mindset to be a coach. Like, oh, I can't coach anybody. I was 40 pounds overweight, suicidal, depressed, had 2 eating disorders, was homeless 6 months prior to joining as a coach, and literally hated people and myself. And I joined as a coach. It's not about waiting till you're at the right mindset or goal weight to be a coach. It's that realizing that becoming a coach is going to give you the tools to get there. You're not where you're at because you don't have the tools, and it's hard to do it on your own. And you probably could, but do you have the accountability for someone to hold you accountable? Do you have the different ideas for personal development? And hey, I'm struggling with this. How do I get through it? You're going to get 5 comments in the team page of how to get through it. You know, when you do that on Facebook, half the time people are going to just be like, oh yeah, life really sucks, man. Good for you. You can send you like a funny like GIF on your computer because everybody's super negative on Facebook. But that doesn't happen in our team page. We give you resources and things to help you through personal development, physical, mental, all that stuff. So anyway, does anybody have any questions? I think we were doing a good job of kind of keeping track of the questions in the comments. I can't see any else. I know there is a delay. So if anybody has any questions, ask. But if not, if anybody is on the call, I don't know how many of us are counting for this number. But if only one person's on, then you win. But for anybody that is on, I think Emily's on, if Tiffany's still on, if Amanda's still on, pick a number 1 through 20, and the first person that's closest without going over will win some Shakeology. And I know there's a little bit of a delay, but we'll wait. I don't know if you guys can check on your phone if my computer is a little bit slower. But I'll give it a few seconds. I'm going to refresh this page. Yeah, we might just do the first person to comment.
Okay, it looks like Amanda
There we
said
go.
14, Emily said 12, and Tiffany said 8.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to say the name in my head. I said 28. Sorry. I said the name or the number in my head, but I never said it out loud. 28 was the number that I picked.
28, didn't you say 1 out of 20?
Oh shit! Oh my gosh! Ooh, I thought I said 1 out of 30. Okay, okay. So let's do 18. So 10 minus 28. I thought I said 1 through 30. Wow, it's been a long day. Oh, I'm a hot mess. Okay, so then I guess that would mean that Amanda technically wins because you're the closest without going over. So yeah, Amanda, you win. So Amanda, I think you won. She won the a giveaway in my meditation. She was in my meditation group. She won a giveaway.
She must have good juju.
Right? Yeah. So Amanda, then you win. So that's awesome. So then I haven't sent you your other gift yet. So I'll just put Shakeology in there as well. So awesome. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Again, whether you're watching live or watching the recording, for watching this and taking the time out of your busy day and schedule and life to watch this. If you have any questions, please comment in the comments. If it's on YouTube, comment in the YouTube comments. Message your coach, whether it's me or whoever invited you to this. My biggest thing is, even if you're not sure, even if you still watch this and you're not sure about coaching, just message your coach and let them know what you liked and what questions you have, just so we can kind of talk with you. None of us are going to come pounding down your door and be like, you need to join. We're going to check in with you. We want you to join because we know how awesome it would be for you. It would be awesome for anybody. And we just want to help you succeed. So reach out to us. Don't be afraid. Even if you're not sure yet, it's just a really good time to join. No better time to join than right before the new year. When people are looking to get healthy, who are they going to come running to? Us. And that's exactly, and it's the perfect time to, if you're afraid to do something, you should always jump into it, especially if you're just doing it part-time, because you jump into it and you figure it out later. And it's not like, and the beauty of this business is that obviously the more you put into it, the more you get out, but you take it at your own pace. So if you're going through school now and you're like, oh, I'm done in 3 months, you can kind of learn as you go. So then you're not starting from scratch as soon as you're done school. You just, start when you're ready, but you've learned some stuff. If you kind of start then it's like you kind of have to learn everything there. So just start now. And then once you're really ready to hit the ground running, you'll kind of have some, chutzpah under your booty. So anyway, again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Danielle, Danny, and Vanessa for sharing your awesome amazingness and wisdom. And hopefully we see lots of your beautiful faces on our team page soon. Peace out, guys.